Hello, everyone. My name is Ashton. I am a FASS placement student, and this is episode 9 of my self help skills and tips YouTube series. So, today's message will be talking about the art of attending during a conversation. So, what is attending? Um, in very simplistic terms, attending is essentially paying attention, being interested, being engaging with an individual that you're talking about. We'll be talking about more in a helping environment, so like a one-on-one, someone's coming up to you asking for help, or like say like a one-on-one client with therapist setting. So, in other words, attending is individually and culturally appropriate verbal following, visuals, vocal quality, and body language. So, again, this is verbal and nonverbal. It's not only just what you're saying to the individual, but it's how you're saying things. What's your body doing while you're talking to someone? What are your hands doing? How is your entirety looking when you are talking to this individual? With attending, the goal is to make the person feel like they are being listened to. So there are certain things that you should be doing in each of these categories that was just listed to make the person feel like they are being listened to, because again, that can go such a long way in these helping relationships. So again, let's focus on the nonverbal communications for a second. We got to make sure that these communications are reinforcing rather than confusing individuals, or kind of repressing them from wanting to open up more. So again, we can all brainstorm about these things, right? So physical posture. Do we want to be slouching? If someone is slouching, it's kind of maybe telling you that okay, maybe they don't really care. They're maybe too comfortable with me, or maybe some people can look at it as like, oh, it's slouching, so they're not, it's more like a friendly vibe. It's more like a comfortable vibe. That could also help too. But in a more professional setting, um, better to be a little bit more of a better posture. So again, shoulders back, um, with a slight lean in towards the person, so they're kind of give you the sense that they are listening. Gestures, some I've heard of situations where sometimes gestures while talking can help the person feel like you are a little bit more in tune with the conversation. Facial expressions, a smile doesn't kill sometimes. It actually can be very, very helpful. And if you have a really mean face on all the time, people will think that like the vibe is a little bit too serious, making them nervous. For example, tone of voice. So again, try to talk in a more professional tone. Try to talk in an enthusiastic tone, and not like your problems are interesting like that. Don't yawn. Don't kind of sound like you're bored and things like that. You want to be very, very in tune with what they're saying and how they're saying it. So if SOLAR is actually a acronym, and it's a way of better understanding attending. So S is squarely, as in face clients squarely. Facing clients squarely indicates that you are available and you're interested and you're working with that client. Again, this also includes facing clients face to face. You don't want to be side to side or back to back. I don't know who would talk like that, but yeah. Um, but also in doing this, make sure that you are not invading their privacy or invading their personal space, for example. So you don't want to be sitting too close to them. Again, you want to have to realize what kind of relationship you have with the person and sit with them accordingly. So, for example, if this is your friend, maybe you can sit a little bit closer. If they're crying and they're your best friend, again, you could probably close in the distance. However, if this is like a person you just randomly met, you would want to keep your space. O stands for open posture. This indicates an openness to the client and a non defensive attitude to what is being spoken about. So, again, this also includes, feeling relaxed, feeling not too stiff, not so like it's indicating that you are open to the person, you're comfortable with the person, and you're relaxed in what you are talking about with the person. If you seem relaxed, chances are the person will kind of copy you and start to become more relaxed themselves. Whereas if you're if you look very uptight, that might make them even more uptight than they actually are. As mentioned before, lean into the person. Let them know that you are interested in what they're saying. Again, that also correlate. Not only does it sound like you are being interested in them, but it sounds like you care more about understanding what they're saying. You really want to pay attention to them. And again, just knowing that someone actually really wants to understand you and that they're trying hard to do so, that can go such a long way, and it can definitely make someone feel a lot better about their situation. So E is actually a little bit of let's put an asterisk beside it, because sometimes eye contact could actually make someone feel uncomfortable. It generally depends on the setting. It depends on the setting, and it actually does depend on the culture as well. Some cultures find eye contact very offensive, for example, whereas in some cultures, eye contact can generally make someone feel a little bit more um, comfortable with you, because you are, it shows that you're not scared to make eye contact with them. And again, this kind of relates to some of the other letters that we mentioned, but again, R stands for being relaxed. Because again, if the client can see that you are relaxed, then it might help them relax as well. So a little bit of an exercise to see the power that the solar approach can generally have on people. So when you and I try to do this with a friend rather than someone random, just because you can explain to your friend in a lighter tone, what you were trying to do and what you were trying to test. So while you're talking with a friend, adopt the solar approach, but then afterwards try turning your back when your friend is talking. Try crossing your arms and your legs. Lean in a little bit too closely. Refuse to make eye contact. And then keep fiddling with your hair. You don't have to try all these things at once, because that might make you look a little bit crazy. But try a couple of these things, and see the difference. See how their approach to you changes. Do they kind of close up a little bit more, or do they open up more? How does it make them feel? Can you see their own body language change up when you do these things? Again, the art of communication is not just what you say, but it's how you say it and how you present yourself while saying it. Thank you very much, everyone, and I will see you on the next video.